Hello everyone, myself Sowmya, Assistant Professor in CSE AIML Department, MLR Institute of Technology. So today's our topic is JavaScript functions. So how functions will work in JavaScript. So in this video, we're going to discuss about what is a function, what are the advantages of function, what are the properties of functions, and we'll also see some example programs. So what is a function? So in every programming language, we have this facility called function. So a function is nothing but it is a group of statement. So that is put together at one place. So it is very useful for better understanding for the user purpose. For example, I'm just writing a program to develop a calculator. So consider a C program here. For example, in the main function, I'll write some code related to addition and some code related to subtraction, and whatever the calculator operations are there, I'll write all those codes. So this is not so organized. So which code is for addition, which code is for subtraction, I cannot identify here. But instead of that, if I make a function only for addition, so make a function addition and keep all the statements which comes under addition in this function. And for subtraction also, you are doing the same. So for all the operations which you are using in the calculator, you are making a separate function for each operation. So by seeing this, we can easily understand what are the operations you are applying over there, and also we can reuse this code. For example, I want to perform A plus B. So A plus B, A may be anything, B may be anything. So every time the values will change. So if I use here in the main function, so what happens, the complete code will be executed. But here I want to perform only the addition. So whatever the function you want, you can go with that function. And easily we can also modify if any changes are there in the addition code. So directly you can go to the addition function and you can modify there itself. But if you combine all the functions, all the code together in the main function itself, it's not easy to recognize which code is for addition. So first you need to go there to modify that addition code. So these are all some advantages of a function. So by using function, we can do all this process simple. So basically function is nothing but a group of statements. So we also call the function as subprogram, procedure, or subroutine. So what are the advantages? So till now whatever we discussed, those are only advantages. So number of lines of code is reduced. So if you combine all the code at one place, then it is very clumsy to understand. At the same time, the size will also more. But if you make the complete code into different subroutines or functions, then the code will be reduced. So code becomes easier to read and understand. So for understanding purpose also, it is very easy if you make them as functions. So code becomes easier to maintain as changes need to be made only at a single location instead of multiple locations. For example, in my main function, I want to perform addition for two different cases. So here I'll perform addition, and after some statements, I want to do it again, addition. So again I'll do. So I want to do some modifications for addition part. Then you have two additions here in the main function. Then what you need to do? So go here, modify, go here, modify. So here I have only two additions in my program. But if I have 10 additions or 100 additions, then everywhere you need to modify that code. But instead of that, both are same. So this common code I am keeping within a function. Then instead of modifying for multiple times, you can simply go to the single function and you can modify there itself. So what are the function properties? So in JavaScript, so this is the syntax to create a function. So to create a function, we are using a keyword called function. Using the function keyword, you're going to write a function name. And after that, you need to write the function name of the function. So generally, the name of the function is called as identifier. And in the previous videos, we have seen to name the identifier, the rules to name the identifiers. So the first letter may be a letter or underscore, and we have some limited characters. We cannot use any predefined keywords as our identifier names. So whatever the rules you're following for variable names, the same rules you should also use for function names also. So using function keyword, we are declaring the function, followed by you giving some name for your function. Within the parenthesis, you're passing some parameters. If you have any parameters for your function, then you can use them. Otherwise, you can simply keep a empty parenthesis. So open the curly brace and write your function code, and you can close your function code. So this is the general syntax for any type of programming language, but here we are using a keyword called function to define a function. So how to invoke the function? So in JavaScript, we have different cases. So when an event occurs, you can call the function. For example, I have a button. So input type is equal to button. So I have a button, input type is equal to button. So the name of the button is some OK. And value which I want to display on the button is also OK. On click. Whenever you click on that submit button, then this on click event will be executed. Whenever you click on that OK button, what I need to do? Call some function. What is the function? Function 1 is the function name. I'm just calling that function. So whenever this event occurs, so on click event occurs, then immediately you're calling the function 1. So this is the first case where you can call the function. Second one, when it is invoked in the JavaScript code, so directly you can invoke them. For example, I have two values with me, a equal to 10, b equal to 20. I have a function called add. I just want to call that function add, pass these two values, a and b. Then you're calling this function in the JavaScript code directly. So whenever you want, you can directly call that. And the next case is automatically self-invoked. Self-invoked in the sense, just like recursion, a function calls itself. So I'm just writing a function called factorial recursion. Then here internally again I'm calling the factorial function by passing some x minus 1. So like that a function calls itself, that is nothing but recursion. So that is the third case. So in these different cases we can call a function or we can invoke a function. So whenever an event occurs, a function can be called automatically. Whenever you want to call a function explicitly, you can call that, or automatically in the recursion process you can call that same function. So this is a basic or simple example for the functions. So we know this function you're writing within this JavaScript. Why? Because function is a part of JavaScript we are learning here. So you're just opening the script tag. So we know how to include the script tag. Script type is equal to text or JavaScript, and I'm writing my own function here. So for that you need to use the keyword called function. And what is the function name I'm giving? my_fun. And I don't have any parameters here, that's why I'm giving the empty parenthesis. Then open the curly brace to write your function or to define your function. So in this function what I'm writing? I'm just writing a message called within the function. So we know how to print a message in the JavaScript. So how to print a message on the HTML document using an object called document. So document is nothing but here it will refer the HTML document. So it will go to HTML document and it will write this content. What is the content? Within the function. So whenever you call this function my_fun, what it will do? It will simply display this message on the document. That's all. You're just closing your function. You're also closing the script tag. So now in the body tag, again I'm opening one more script. See, we know whenever you want to use the script, JavaScript code in your HTML document, you need to open the script tag. So if it is over, then you need to close that. But again after some time, if you want to use the JavaScript code again, then again you need to open the script tag. So script type is equal to text or JavaScript. This I'm writing within the body section. So before the body section, but here within the body section I'm writing one more script. So script type is equal to text or JavaScript. Again I'm printing a message here. What is this message? Document.write before function call. So I'll get this message mandatorily. After that, simply you're printing BR, break. You will come to the next line. Then you're calling this function my_fun. So where it will go now? It will go to that my_fun. So what my_fun is doing? It is printing a message within the function. So then you're closing your script. So now here what is the output I'll get? So initially this will be executed. The function code you are writing initially, but it will not be executed first. Why? Because the function will be executed whenever you call that. See where you're calling that? You're calling after printing this message. That's why first what is the output I'll get? Before function call I'll get, and after that it comes to the next line. Why? Because you're using break, and then you're calling the function. So in that function what it will print? Within the function. So I'll get this message within the function. So this is the output I'll get. For example, if I don't call this here, then this message will not be printed. So the function will be executed only whenever you call that function. Otherwise, it will not be invoked at all. So we'll see the output for this. So this is the output I'm getting. So initially I'm getting before function call, and after that I'm getting within function. For example, I'll just remove this. I'll just put this within comments. I'm not calling that function. I'm just saving. If I refresh that, I'm getting only before function call. So if you don't call that function, then it will not be executed. So now what I'm doing, I'm just calling this function 2 times. So before function call, I'm calling once, and after function call also I'm calling one time. See, within the function, before function call, within the function again I'm getting. So this message you're getting for twice. Within the function message you're getting for twice. Why? Because you're calling the same function for 2 times. So one more example we'll see here. So this function will return some. So we'll see one more example here. So this function will return some value from the function. So in C or Java, if the function is returning something, we used to write the return type. But here you're not writing any return type. So simply you're using a keyword called function, and followed by the function name is add. So here we are passing 2 parameters, A and B. We know in JavaScript, we don't pass or we don't indicate the data type for the variables. Here also you're not specifying the data type for A and B. So now what I'm doing, C is equal to A plus B. So C is a local variable you're creating, but of course here declaration is not mandatory. Then you're returning this C value. So this is a function code you're writing, and this function within the script tag you're writing. In the body tag, again I'm opening the script tag, I'm calling the function. So what is the function you're calling? Add of 2, 4. But we know add of 2, 4 will return some value. It will return C value. What is that C value? It is 6. So whenever this function is returning something, you should hold that value in some variable. So this function is returning something, so you should hold that value in some variable, or else you can directly print that value. You can directly print whatever the function is returning, that value directly you can print using document.write. For example, if I simply write add of 2, 4, nothing will happen. That means it will calculate 6 value, it will return. The function will return the value, but you are not storing or you are not printing. So whenever the function is returning something, you should hold that value, or you should at least print that value. So that I'm doing here, I'm just calling this function, but where you're calling this function? Within document.write. Why I'm calling this function within document.write means it is returning some value. If you observe the previous program, see previous program simply I'm writing. I'm not writing this function within document.write. Why? Because this function is not returning anything. So here this function is returning, that's why I'm calling this function within the document.write. Then after that you're giving a break, and again see here another way. You're calling again the function add of 4, 6, but here instead of printing the value directly, you're storing this value in a variable called sum. So whatever the value returned by this add function will be stored in a variable called sum. So now in the next line you're printing that sum value. So here in this line I will get 6, and in this line I will get 10. So that is the output I'll get for this. So we'll see the output. So this is the output I'm getting. In the first line I'm getting 6, in the second line I'm getting 10. So whenever a function returns some value, then what you need to do? You need to print that value directly, or you need to hold that value in a variable. So in this video we have discussed about what is a function, how to declare a function, how to invoke the function or how to use the functions, and we also have seen some programs also. Thank you.